Alright, my friends, you can see what I'm working here. 2023 Kyle Busch McLaren custom grills. Won this at Talladega, and I am working this other side, but I wanted to finish up. Well, I'm going to show you building this side, but I wanted to show you here a little problem, right? So this grill is one large piece coming across here, and at the top of this is this little area here. If I can grab it, come here. So this has got a little bit of kind of a gray color to it here, coming up out of this red, and I trimmed it off because this is part of the side decal here that has the Goodyear in it. So you wonder why, Doug, I like getting things separated out. Well, this is where the Goodyear really needs to go, because it's centered over the wheel well. But this is low, so I trimmed it off to be able to get them connected like that. It's not ideal, but with the way that this is, it just doesn't line up being connected here. So, all right, now I'm gonna get some microsole, but we're just trying to build this guy, okay? Just trying to build this guy, make it look as best as it possibly can. Come on. This is where we try not to get too upset. Got to get these decals on top of one another, and then ever so carefully slide them into place. Okay. So if there's any gap, I'd rather have it between here than between these two gray pieces. So I'm trying to get these two gray pieces to line up together. But that's better. That's better. But yeah, all in all, outside of, I think, this area, it's not too difficult to build this car. Remove the black background, obviously. And I'm making it on this PTC mold, or what is it, the J mold now? Yeah, the J mold for junk. Got my Dappy T keys going in the background. My brush is starting to fall apart here. It's about time for a new one. The bristles keep falling out of it. One at a time. Yeah. Start losing bristles out of your brush. You're getting close to the end of its days. Try not to use too much microsole, but I want to get this to lay down up here. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty well here. Trying to knock out a few of these decals that I've ordered recently, as well as some of the custom requests. I see a few of these McLaren custom die casts up on eBay. And looks like one of them is like maybe somebody printed their own decals. It's a little bit different than the set I'm working with. And then I see another one that's up there, again as of right now. And it looks like there was no background removed on it. But I'm just excited that there's people out there making custom die casts. I think it's cool. Selling them on eBay. Awesome. Giving collectors options. And so many cool paint schemes that are not being built by Lionel. So plenty of opportunity out there for you guys that are interested in making custom die casts, whether for yourself or making them for collectors like I do. And yeah, guys, I don't really collect anymore. I was talking to David. I sent him an email. We were going back and forth, and I don't really collect anymore. Used to. Now I just pretty much make them for other people. So there's no sense gifting me any cars that you guys might make, because I don't really collect them. I try to get cars into the hands of people that want them. So yeah, that's what I'm up to these days. And then I think there's some of you, maybe James, you're one of them, that makes the cars and pretty much only makes them for your collection. So that's kind of cool. All right, come here. So here's the other side of this, where the Goodyear is. And again, you can see let's get this in place first. And then we get this other little guy here that I cut off. Like so. There we go. That's cool. Pretty happy with that. I think next one I build, I'm gonna try to bring this up more, bring this a little higher, just a little bit, and I might be able to have those stay connected and yeah, not have to separate that gray area out. But I'm pretty happy with that. Come on. Last piece, this is a little tricky here. Get this grill up here. There we go. You can see how I cut that out, separated out from the rest of this, just to be able to, again, just be able to place it exactly where I want it to go. Because I just had a little opening here, so I cut it here and had that piece in, and then this piece. Just makes it so much easier to be able to place it and work it exactly where I want it to be. And that's the greatest advantage of removing a background color, is being able to do just that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this, guys. This is turning out pretty well. I mean, I know it's on the J mold, but I can't complain too much about how this little guy is doing. So yeah. Let me show you what else is going on in the toy shop these days. So I just finished decaling this guy. Landon Castle, number 77, Fox Nation. You know, it's funny. So again, I built this on a J mold. And I just assumed it was a Ford Mustang. And so this is a Ford Mustang body. It's a Camaro though. But it's not too easy to tell it's a Mustang body. You can see the headlight here. But it doesn't look too bad. So anyways, kind of botched that. But and then on the J molds, it doesn't say like Ford or Chevy or Camaro or Mustang on the bottom. So anyways, yeah. Oh well, such is life, you know. Living, make mistakes and all that. So Bob, we got this done. Showed you that in the last video. I think I've got another coat of sealer to put on that guy. And Kyle, this is turning out nice. A couple more coats of sealer on this guy. She'll be ready. It's funny. I just bought a Rheem hot water heater. So being loyal to my NASCAR sponsors. Got a good deal too. That's nice. Alright, so Bob, this isn't the best work, but it is complete. I'm just sealing it up now. I used copper here. I thought that was a good match. I don't think they're gold, but I used the copper paint to paint the rims. I thought that matched with the lettering, the fabrication lettering best. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. But this is one of the harder cars I've had to make in a while. And just Xfinity Camaros are a pain in the backside. And I said this in my last video, but whenever you're building something like this and it's got multiple background colors, whether you had the red removed or the white removed, it's hard. You got, some openings here. But that's about as best as I can do. I mean, I'm sure there's little improvements I can make here and there, but this is how it's turning out. I hope you like it. Again, I'm pretty happy with it, but it's not an easy car to make. That's for sure. But yeah, I'll get all these sealed up and I'll get them out to you as soon as I can, Bob. All right, guys, that's about it. Let me pause and I'll share a verse of scripture with you, and we'll close this guy out. Hold on. All righty, just sharing what I've been, little nuggets of things that I've been seeing. But yeah, I've been reading through the book of John. A couple times I'll have a chapter I'll read, and then I'll read the same chapter again sometimes. But if you notice something about Jesus as the Son of God, as the one who knows all, he tests his disciples. He questions them sometimes. And I want you to note chapter 6, and this is what I read this morning, and just it's interesting how Jesus operates. He says, after these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great multitude followed him because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples, and the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was nigh. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes, saw a great company come unto him. Again, this isn't something that Jesus is surprised about. But what does he do? He says unto Philip, whence shall we buy bread, that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Guys, sometimes it's hard when you're hanging around somebody who's a lot smarter than you, and they ask you a question, and you almost know they're testing you, and you have no clue. You have no clue how to answer it. I don't know if Philip knew that Jesus was testing him, but it's clear he is. And he says, when shall we buy bread? I mean, they went up into a mountain. They're in like a deserted place. Here comes 5,000 people. Hey, Philip, where are we going to buy bread that these 5,000 people may eat? Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. 200 pennyworth, that's an interesting phrase, but it's basically 200 days' wages. So if you have a job where you work 8 hours in a day, and you make that amount, multiply that by 200, and that's what at least Philip is saying that's how much money they would need. So he actually doesn't even answer Jesus' question about where. He's like, Jesus, where? What do you mean? We don't have enough money. We don't have 200 days of worth of money to buy food for all these people. Who cares about where? But Jesus tests him. Think about your life and how God tests you. Maybe he's allowing difficult circumstances to come into your life, or maybe he's asking you to do something, or maybe have an impact in somebody's life. It's not easy. You're not sure how to get through it. But this is what God does, is he tests us. He knows the answer, and he's trying us to see if we'll reach another level in our Christian faith. And so we need to look at the difficult things in life and the tests in life, or we need to look at the difficult things in life as God testing us so that we might go to that next level of faith. And yeah, here, Philip had no clue. Simon Peter's brother Andrew says, hey, we have a boy, a lad here that has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish, but what are they among so many? And the idea is that, yeah, they looked at their money, they looked at their resources that they had, and they didn't have enough. They had no way of meeting it. But you bring the miracle worker Jesus into the equation, and you'll have enough. And he feeds the 5,000 miraculously. So, yeah, just interesting thoughts from the Word of God. I hope that in the trials and difficulties of your life, you don't look at them as God being mean to you, but God giving you a test, a challenge, that you might pass it so that you can take that next level of faith and maturity in your Christian walk. I know he tests me quite regularly, and sometimes I don't pass the test, sometimes I do. But just pray this is an encouragement to you. Thanks for listening, watching, subscribing, liking my videos. God bless you, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.